I think it's going to be great moving forward. If you guys didn't hear, the new end of match procedures for premier events, so regionals and things like that that we'll be hosting in the future, is going to be you're just when time is called, the turn is just immediately going to end. That's going to help. One, you don't have to go into 2 extra turns each, 0, 1, 2, 3. So that time will be cut out. And two, it'll prevent you from like, oh, it's time. Let me go all out and kill you since it's my turn. I'm gonna take the advantage of the turn ending on my turn and just killing you outright. So obviously there's a lot of pros and cons to it, but I think that's the best decision. I know Jim called me up and talked to me about what do I think before he made the announcement. He really wanted to see our opinion, the opinion of our players and stuff like that. And we wanted to make sure that we weren't just making it better for the tournament organizer side. We were making sure that it made it better for the player side as well. We want to make your experience as good as possible and make sure everybody has a great time, has enough time to play there, isn't sitting there for too long not doing anything, and just overall just increasing the experience. So that's the decision that we came up with. We'll see if that ends up sticking. I know Jim had experimented 50 minutes for a round at Hartford. I think that was completely not the right decision. I told him, I don't think that would work. It ended up not working. It just makes more people go into overtime, and then you still have the turn situation. So now instead of having 20 matches going to turns, now you have 40, 50 matches going into turns, and eventually, you don't have as many judges to sit down and be and watch each game in turns. Because some players will just be like, oh, we're in turns? Yeah, let's just finish the match. Screw that. We're not going to go by the rules, which obviously is something that you shouldn't be doing, but players will do anyway. So I think that's the... I think that's pretty much it. I mean, that's all there is to the new time rules. I feel like a lot of people overreacted to it, and a lot of people were just sensible about it and were like, oh yeah, this seems good. I mean, I'd hate to use Yu-Gi-Oh for an example because I know a lot of the things that they do are incorrect. But I think one of the things that they did correctly was modify their end of match procedure by not having one, not having turns. It ends right in the phase that you're in. Now, this game doesn't have phases, so if you were in the battle phase, you should be able to finish your battle phase. But because this game is an open, it's an open turn, open phase, you don't really have the flexibility of doing that. Once you go into time, you can just go all out, combo your whole hand, and it's just it favors the turn player too much, So more draws, but I think it will increase, both players just talking to each other and being like, hey, can you just hurry the pace of play, because it's going to hurt both of us if we go into a draw. So it doesn't seem like you're being rule sharky, but at the same time, I think it's just going to be some type of incentive on both players' side, which I think is the best thing ever. You don't have to have judges sharking players and being like, yo, hurry your pace of play, because nobody likes that either. But this is a tough game, honestly. It's one of the tougher games out there. It has one of the largest decision trees ever, and I think it's just every decision counts. I think everything from as little as to charging an energy can be something that might take some additional thinking, just because it's something that it can affect you down the road. So anyways, back to the game. We have the Beerus deck with Whis down on board, so you can only assume that Robbie's playing Beerus, a Vanquisher from Universe 7. And we have some life to update here. We got 4 on the Beerus side. And Pan, pretty hard to see with those sleeves, but we're just going to call it 4. So both players at their end game, well, mid game. Looks like Jason just finished putting Robbie down to 4, so Robbie's not awakened yet. But we're going to see here what Robbie's going to do. Choose to flip. Robbie will be at 4 energy next turn, and Beerus is a 5-drop, but Whis dropping it down to 4, so we're going to see if he's going to play that on board. But Jason's going to take this opportunity to draw a card off his Pan ability, play a crit creature, evolve into GT Goku. He's going to discard a reliable Trunks for that. That's the EX evolve cost. And he's going to go ahead and put on a counter for us. Very smart, by the way. If you guys are playing in Premier events, very good to put little counters and things like that, counters and such like that, to just signify, you know, plus 5k, minus 5k, whatever the case is. And that's where I was talking about the over 9,000 dice. I think that's a great, that's a great tool for tournament play. Not very good for stream matches because it's still not too big. It's not big enough to see on stream, but it is a cool idea for sure. But at least the dice we can see clearly there at number 2, signifying 2 5k boosts already. That Kid Goku, a lot of people just forgetting about it. It is still a very, very powerful card. It has a lot of attack. It has a fantastic ability. And it restands itself. So it's just almost everything that you want in a red card. A very big attacker. Something that you can attack multiple times with. And Robbie here using the ability, not being completely tapped out, having this West Supreme Kai on board, using that for energy in order to play the Whis Coercion, and restanding an energy that he was previously tapped out on. So that was a really good play. Really upside to playing West Supreme Kai. Sure, it is technically an energy that is vulnerable because your opponent can just attack it, which is obviously like terrible. But you know, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's definitely the best thing that can, you know, keep you from untapping because it's a creature on board. So not the worst thing in the world, but now Jason's going to be able to attack the West Supreme Kai, essentially putting Robbie back 1 energy. Not as bad as putting back an actual energy, but still puts back like a turn, puts Robbie back a turn. But in turn, it does allow Robbie to save an attack from his leader, because that is an attack. Like if they do end up attacking the West Supreme Kai, which I think is a correct play, it does take away an attack that would potentially be going to the leader. With the exception of things like, you know, Kid Goku and Pan and small little creatures that have 5k attack, I think those are the best things to run at the West Supreme Kai because you wouldn't be attacking the leader anyways with that card. But like we said, Beerus, Vanquisher of Universe 7, out on the board for Robbie. Try to pull that card up for you guys. That does one of the most controversial cards from Tournament of Power. And the reason is why, well, the ruling. The ruling on it is unique, to say the least. Now, it is a double striker with 25k attack. When this card attacks a leader card, your opponent chooses any number of cards from their hand, battle area, or energy area for which the total cost adds up to 6 or more and places them into the drop area. Now, I believe now, the ruling on this is if you were to attack with Beerus and your opponent does not meet the requirement in their energy or in their battle area, that if you do meet the requirement in hand and not in the battlefield and not in the energy area, then you can just say, I don't have the cost to add up to 6 or more in my hand. So you could essentially just, even if you do have it, say, I don't have it, because it is a zone that is not public. It is a secret zone. It is a zone only known to the player. So it's not the worst ruling in the world, because for them not to have the requirements on board or in the energy is very, 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 very low. Now, with that being said, I still think it's a very powerful card. It is something like you saw Jason just lost his whole bomb to it. So normally it would take multiple cards here. I think it only took 1 because that Goku is a 6-drop. But still powerful because it's able to, you know, attack as well, and it's 25k body, and it can be 4 energy. So here, a regular Beerus would have done the same thing, but it's in other scenarios, like maybe if Jason had not played that giant Kid Goku GT on board, if Jason still had like combination attack Pan, you know, Goku, and you know, a few other cards, I think it would have been a lot more devastating, and Jason maybe, like, he would have lost like multiple creatures for it, which would have been like, you know, the ideal scenario. And I think energy is like the last thing that you ever want to throw to Beerus' attack. But Robbie here getting the effect of Beerus off and just ruining a little bit of Jason's plan here. Just going to set him back just a little bit. And we'll see if that's enough here as Robbie actually decides to go in with Whis. And throwing another Piccolo. That's 2 Piccolos down for Robbie. Alright, so Robbie's going to play Zeno Button on the Pan Attack, which is an interesting card to be playing, actually. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, Robbie's hand, you have a bunch of 10Ks and he was tapped out, so sure, it's okay, but he still had a West Supreme Kai. I mean, I just don't think that card is what you want to be doing in a lot of decks, but people seem to like that card a lot, so... just don't like it. I mean, I feel like there's many other better things that you could be doing. I would like it in a deck that you have like a bunch of like flash creatures or like, you know, counter attack creatures. Maybe if you're playing like Raging Attacker Vegeta. Things like that. Is Rob... Jason, I think, is at 2. I'm sorry. This is like... it's just... I think white and black, I think, are probably one of the worst sleeves to put on stream. Unless you have like matted black ones. Or ones that... I think white is just the worst. I think that's it. I think black is actually manageable. Because you can see like the corners. But Jason here with another Kid Goku GT. We're going to see if Robbie has... Well, now that Zeno Button actually got a lot better. Because now Robbie can throw like multiple 10Ks. Instead of just being stuck with one 1K. One 10K, I'm sorry. Yes, this will be uploaded to the YouTube channel. Every one of our events should be always findable on YouTube about a week after. We try to upload a match a day. Right now we're uploading Yu-Gi-Oh! Matches from the case tournament we had last week. So this should be up starting Monday. We'll go match by match each day. Yeah, we really can't tell with the life here. I think Jason is at 2. And I believe Robbie's at 1 here and Jason just pumping out. So that Zeno Button actually putting in a lot of work now because like Robbie's going to be able to throw multiple 10Ks here. And that's really good in this situation. So that worked out perfectly. So I actually have to like eat my words on the Zeno Button being bad. We'll see if he has enough combo. Does he have enough combo? Is that not enough combo? Robbie looks devastated, so I don't think it is. Oh, God. Yeah, I think he might have gotten it, yeah, because that was 35, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65. 65, I believe, unless that Goku was pumped at all. In that case, that count would be wrong. But then you have 30, 40, 50, 60, I think, from Robbie. We're going to go out and check, double check here. We'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, we are back, and Robbie took it actually. He out-comboed Jason, and Jason just scoops it up on the spot, which is really hard to tell because I was looking at like Robbie's body language and it looked like he had lost, but Robbie taking it here, out-comboing the Goku, finishing blow from Jason, and surviving to give Beerus its first win on stream, PPG stream at least. So that's going to be fantastic. Robbie is playing the 12-drop Whis. A 12-drop or 12-drop, I believe. Yeah, 12-drop. The game ender, quadruple strike, extra turn taking menace. Yeah, the Zeno button clutched it. I ate my words, guys. I'm so sorry. I was like, oh, Zeno button's terrible. Why are people playing this? I'm sorry, Robbie, if you're watching this. Nothing against you. I just don't like the card. When it was spoiled, I thought it was insane because I thought you could play it like during your turn. Like I attack, like you attack with your leader, play Zeno button. And I was like, whoa, that card is insane. But then Bandai was like, oh yeah, counter attacks are just towards your opponent's attacks. Well, maybe it was my lack of understanding of the game, really. It's a very confusing game for those that haven't really like been along for the ride, because you got to learn to not take everything at first glance, I guess it is. But we're going to see what Jason does differently here going into game 2 with Robbie playing Beerus up 1, because that Beerus leader is going to be able to eat those little nuggets, and we'll see if Robbie chooses to do that. Favorite card and favorite leader. Honestly, let me see. Favorite card would probably have to be that new Jiren that came out. Like, this is changing every time a new set comes out for sure. I believe it's Absolute Justice Jiren. I have it right here in front of me. Quadruple Strike, which I just love seeing like quadruple on a card. Seems like so like badass and overwhelming. But yeah, Quadruple Strike from Tournament of Power, super rare, fantastic. Permanent, decreases the cost of the card for each Universe 11 in the battle area. So I love that ability, being able to play off. It kind of works like a team, and I really love the whole team aspect to cards when they're like, oh yeah, you have these. Speaking of team, they have like this new bond keyword that's on like the Namekians, which I really love. Set 4 coming out soon, by the way. Purchase on proplaygames.com, $65 a box. If you email us or message us on Facebook, you'll get that special price. If you go on TCG Player and just buy it from there, you'll be charged $75. Not the worst, but it is still the cheapest on TCG Player. It's just that, you know, TCG Player, like any other third-party site, eats those fees, so that's why you don't see 65 on there. But make sure you hit us up for those cheap prices. But yeah, Absolute Jiren, Absolute Justice Jiren, back to him. Fantastic. When you play him, choose all your opponent's battle cards and energy in rest mode and place them in the drop area. Insane. Like, this is great. 35k attack. This is one of my favorite cards. This is like the main reason why I want to play Universe 11. So that has to be one of my favorite like battle cards, like regular cards out right now. And then as far as leaders right now, I'm going to go with another Tournament of Power card. The Sharpened Power Son Goku. This is the Goku that came out in Tournament of Power that has the restriction that you cannot include non-Universe 7 cards in your deck. And I think that's really unique. I think that's really cool from Bandai to go and make a leader that has such like an absurd restriction. And having an absurd restriction from like that is just so... It's just so crazy to me. Like, I'm really excited to see more Universe 7 cards now, because I know by them printing cards like this that there's inevitably just going to be more and more cards to support that. And that's what I love to look forward to. And I'm glad they didn't spoil us with this set. I'm super glad. I'll be the minority and be like, no, I don't think Tournament Power was underwhelming. I think it was perfect. I think it was a perfect taste. I think it was the perfect, like, just amount of like, here's some, you know, here's something that we can come up with. You know, this is there's a little bit of taste of what Tournament of Power will bring you for the future, because I don't think Tournament of Power was a standalone set. I think this was one of many in the expansion of the game, and just cards that can potentially be made, because they skipped over a lot of things. Most notably, Kefla and the Tournament of Power Topo. I mean, the God of Destruction Topo candidate or whatever, and things like that that are super cool. Like the big robot from like Universe Robot, I guess. But yeah, and then it ended up playing out so much more, like so much. I don't know what the word is. Like it was just so much more hype when it dropped. Because like all the signed cards, you made it like a collector's item. You made it a 1-print run. Like it was just great. It really shaped up to be like one of the best things, best like sets probably ever. I mean, it sold better for us than set 3. So for all of you in Australia and Europe and stuff that haven't gotten this yet, be on the lookout, because that's gonna be it's gonna be a huge set. It's gonna be a set that it's gonna take a lot of collectors. It's gonna take their hearts away. I don't know what else to say. It really just hit me in the feels when I get to play all these cards. You know, it's just another feeling, and that's why I love this game. I just connect so much with the anime. I really love playing these cards in form. So, anyways, back to the leader. Can't play non-Universe 7 cards, and when it attacks, you know, it gains a 5,000 combo power. So it's always a 15k even unawakened, and on the other side, it's got the ability to also draw a card and plus 5k. By the way, on the flip, it untaps energy, which I think is fine, and it also draws to attack on the unawakened side, which I like. I've come to like that ability, like just attacking unawakened, drawing a card. Like I'm fine, because now I don't have to play cards that awaken my leader so I can draw a card. I could just attack and draw a card, which is fantastic. And then the untap energy is great because it lets you like overextend on a play. Like when you're at 3 energy, it's like playing with 5 energy for 1 turn, which I think is perfect. And then when this card is attacked, you may place 2 Universe 7 cards from your hand to the drop area. If you do, negate that attack and this skill for the duration of the turn. So just a built-in negate, you know, and then you're already able to play a negate in the deck, which is Master Roshi, which is a Universe 7 card, thankfully. So it just makes it that much better. So those are my favorite cards as of right now, and I quickly get over cards. That's the thing. Like I'll never really mention when somebody tells me favorite. I'll think of like the newest thing and not like things from the back, you know, before. Because I think my answer before on this channel or on like one of the, I think Mark interviewed us, and I was just like, yeah, just whatever. Cell, you know, Cell is one of my favorite. I'm sorry. Did we miss something? He has to take a life on Akaba, I'm guessing. Can't peel off his stand-up. Alright, so we'll let these guys play it out. We don't have a stream judge for this event. It's not a regional or anything like that. We do have our head judge, Chris Abella, number 2 ranked in the world here on staff. He's taking care of the floor, and we'll see exactly what these guys have here. All the mass in for the life. Okay, yeah, I think that's something that we can change. Give me 1 sec. Alright, easily fixable. Notified Jason that that is a mandatory effect. That is not optional. So he will have to take the life and proceed with his turn as normal. Now, I believe using combination attack pans here to pump his Goku. And he's going in here. Robbie down to 1. Sorry, I've been terrible with this life, guys. Obviously, you can't do multiple things at once. We don't have Lester here with us, unfortunately. He is taken for the weekend. And Jason's at 3. Yep. Oh, thank you, Far for Yu-Gi-Oh! I appreciate you. Shout out to Not Here. See, I remembered your name this time. For those of you who are watching now, and probably on YouTube later, if you guys are into Yu-Gi-Oh! We don't do it as much, but Far for Yu-Gi-Oh! Not Here over there and his boys. A great entertainment channel. You know, fantastic. Really good for filling that Yu-Gi-Oh! Itch when we're not enough. I know we're not as consistent as other content creators, but we try a lot more than any other, I think, big card shop business. I don't see really ARG and Core TCG and other places like that have as much coverage as we do. But at the same time, you know, we don't have a primary content creator. But looks like Jason taking this one with a huge Kid Goku. And we're going to see what Robbie can go and answer this with, because that's not something, it's not an easy deck to beat. That Kid Goku can get really big, really fast, and I don't know. In Robbie's part, he's just gotta have to like read his leader really quick. He's just gonna let me reread this. Hold on, let me see if my leader does some like crazy ability where I can hopefully get a 1-up on my opponent. But I don't know, Robbie. I don't know what you're gonna do. Hopefully, drop that Beerus a little bit early. I think that Beerus really helped him secure game 1, because that was just something that alleviated some stress from Jason's board. And I don't know if Robbie's playing like well, actually he is. I think he's playing the 4-drop Beerus too, so he's getting some extra value out of the Wii set he's playing, because not only is he able to decrease the power from his well, the energy cost of his big 5-drop Vanquisher Beerus, but he's also able to decrease the cost of his smaller 4-drop Beerus, which just destroys a creature when it hits the board. Now, Jason's not playing any type of Cold Bloodlust type effects. Cold Bloodlust only accessible to yellow leaders, yellow Frieza's Clan leaders. So all Robbie has to do is draw the card, hold it, wait for Jason to play the Kid Goku GT Ultimate Form, not die that turn, like survive the turn, which is very easy because Robbie plays like Xenobut and stuff like that, and then just follow it up with a Beerus. And either Beerus I think would be fine, but you don't want to give your opponent the option, so I think the 4-drop Beerus would be better. You'll be able to just like automatically just boom, kill your dude. Only problem is he needs to get to 5 energy. That Beerus will not kill anything unless you have at least 5 energy. So even though you can play it for 3 energy, you're gonna have to be at 5 energy minimum to resolve and activate the effect, and then he'll only have to cast 3 energy for that Beerus if he does have the Whis Mentor of Beerus on the board. Alright, so Robbie starting it off, charging that Beerus that he really needs. Oh man, I really hope he has another one somewhere, but playing a Universe 9, I believe, Kawasu. And that's going to look for the top 3, Search God. Good thing about the West Supreme Kai, it is a God, so pretty good turn 1 here from Robbie. He's going to be able to go and search a objection essentially in a creature, you know. I say that very loosely because we've talked about the advantages and disadvantages of West Supreme Kai. But Robbie does have answers to Jason's deck. He does have Pilaf, which I don't know if it comes from the main or side. We do have their side decks here, I just haven't really looked at them. Oh, I have Jason's here, first one. Seems pretty standard. No side deck, okay. That's wild. We are playing best 2 out of 3s today, guys. So, it's always great to have a sideboard. It just gives you more flexibility. It gives you more things to do, 100%. We'll see if we can find Robbie's list, because this seems pretty interesting, this Beerus deck. He's going to go and attack Kaba. Yeah, it's only if it has... I believe Beerus says only if you have 3 energy or more would you KO a card that has energy cost of 2 or less, or 3 or less. I believe it's 2 or less. But it looks like they're calling over a judge to try to resolve something. Still trying to find this Beerus list here. Okay, so it looks like just through battle. No. Oh my god, it's so hard to see this live. I think Jason's at 7. And then Robbie at 6. Alright, so a quick rush trunks from Jason off the Grand Tour spaceship. Not the best, not the worst. I mean, it's a good card. I like Grand Tour spaceship because you spend the 2 energy to play a card like Trunks Japan that might cost you a little bit more, but then sometimes it might cost you the same. But then it might cost you less also. So it's just like, give and take. It's like, at the end of the day, it's kind of like deck thinning, you know? And when you're like trying to combo out, it's actually like the worst. Alright, a little bit of confusion here. Robbie going down 5. And then Robbie going down to 4. So a pan attack and a trunks attack. Kai does not count as energy, but you can use it as energy. So itself as a creature can produce energy. Robbie's gonna go and play Whis, Mentor, Beerus here, using all his energy. And I would imagine Robbie, yep, definitely does attack with Beerus here. And Beerus is actually should be able to resolve its ability to destroy the Quick Rush Trunks. Now, pretty cool line of play that Robbie could have done here is just attacking the Quick Rush Trunks with his Beerus. Because then Beerus' ability would destroy the Trunks and Jason wouldn't have taken a life. Like, Jason wouldn't have had to take a life, which is good from the Beerus side because you want to stall out your opponent. You want to, especially when they're playing a leader like Pan, you kind of don't want to awaken them. You kind of don't. But at the same time, you kind of have to win the game sometimes. So I'm a fan of going either way. But in a stall deck, you kind of don't want to give your opponent as many cards as, I mean, you just don't want to give them too many cards. Especially from their life when they're playing like something combo oriented. Not super combo heavy, but combo oriented. Like Jason's playing. The Kid Goku deck is pretty combo oriented, and pretty cool play by Robbie that he did last turn, by the way, is playing that I forgot what his name is. I think it's like North Supreme Kai. But the pretty unique part about that is that you can use a West Supreme Kai as energy, then you can play him and restand one of your gods, and he is a blocker as well. So not only will he be able to block an attack, but he'll be able to restand your otherwise very powerless West Supreme Kai that would have been easy target for Jason to destroy. So pretty cool play by him. Now we're gonna see Robbie put another energy down here, his 4th energy, another Beerus, which I don't know, man. I'm not a fan. I don't see another Beerus in Robbie's hand, another 4-drop Beerus, which he's gonna really regret if Jason throws down a Goku GT next turn, which is not like, it's not impossible. Robbie's gonna play another one of these Majin Defiers and restand his West Supreme Kai. So that's really cool because he's using it essentially as a 1 energy blocker, which is really cool. And Beerus is going to take down another Kid Goku from Jason. And Jason's just going to be He's just getting put in a spot where it's really unfortunate here, but he is at least getting life. At the very least, he's getting life back to his hand, trying to replenish some advantage, but slowly dying at the same time. Ooh, we got Eddie St. Hilaire in the building. What's up, man? How's it going today? How's your how have your matches been? Got destroyed round 1. Here, let's put that on there. Let's unmute that. We got Eddie St. Hilaire, team captain, Pro Play Games. He's back. We've missed you, man. You've been in West Palm, super far away, doing your own thing. How's everything been?
It's been good, man. Time to make a comeback.
Trying to make a comeback?
Yeah.
You playing Vegeta like your brother Marcel?
You have to. I got him to play Vegeta, actually. He was playing something else.
Really?
Like,
he was playing something? Oh my god, dude.
Like,
I feel like you're just a bad influence.
It's insane. Like, if you actually get to turn 4, you super win.
Beerus says, yo, Eddie.
Oh, what's up? It's Diego. He's from across seas.
Oh, cross seas, nice, bro.
Yeah, overseas.
I appreciate the overseas support. That's what seems to be most of our fan base. So super cool. Shout out to you guys, because I know a lot of these like meta and matches are kind of irrelevant to you guys because you don't have like all the cards we do. But it's super cool to see you guys just come out and watch these matches. We see Robbie playing one of the new cards from Tournament of Power, Beerus, a Vanquisher of Universe 7, and we see it here in his hand too. So we mentor Beerus out on the board, so it looks like he's got the perfect setup for this. But Jason's not gonna let him resolve it very easily. He's got a lot of powerful cards. He's got that Kid Goku GT. Looks like he has a pretty decent grip in hand. Super combo up there in the front. We're gonna see how he approaches this turn. But Robbie, I believe, drawing for turn? Or no, because there's an Overwhelm card on board. Looks like he just took a life. Just take that down. Robbie down to 3. But at least he has all the energy in the... Oh, and taking another one here. So quickly, not even... with no hesitation, just taking the life.
That's not good.
That's crazy, yeah. Maybe Robbie thinks he has game next turn. Jason's at 4.
He must have an 8 though. Like, why would you just snap? He has 4 open energy?
Yeah, he's got 4 open energy. So I know there's a lot of 10Ks in this Beerus deck.
Oh, you see he's digging for that, what's his face? Ooh, got the pin. Ooh, the Kaba.
Alright, so he's going to get Rising Fist. The Rising Fist. You don't see a lot of people playing this card.
All the Double Strike guys are still in his deck.
Yeah, no, he hasn't gotten any of the big dudes, which is crazy. He hasn't been able to find them. The Rising Fist Super Saiyan 2 Sun Goku from Crossworlds, a rare card, and when it evolves, draw 2 cards. So pretty cool. It has Double Strike 2, 20k. Not the worst card in the world. Evolves for 3. So he could actually evolve over one of his little Goku GTs right now if he really wanted to, but he'd be tapping out and probably just spilling his death. So Jason's going to say, no thanks, I'll probably do it next turn if I feel like it. But Overwhelm's going to go back into the warp, and Robbie's going to take his turn. And he's got the 7-drop Beerus in hand too. And guess what? That 7-drop Beerus costs 6 now. Alright, Beerus at leader, killing a Kid Goku GT. All the value. We're going to see if Jason defends here. Robbie had 2 life here, so he's going to have to tread very carefully.
He's losing cards in hand.
Yeah, he used a card in hand, which is pretty unique. And he's going to go Whis into leader, discarding a Whis, and discarding a P, and discarding... Whoa. Alright, that's 30k.
Do you have a Fu in there or something? Jason
40K.
Does have 4 life, right? Is that...
Yeah, Jason has 4 life. I think what he's doing here is... I really don't know, actually. I was going to say his game plan is to play this Beerus, right?
For a second, I thought it was the other Whis he has.
Oh, you know what? He might just be planning to finish him off with the big Beerus, but I don't know if that's a...
But you can't. Like, I'll just take this off Jason.
The other Beerus has triple strike, right?
I'm pretty sure. Even if it's triple strike, you just pitch 2 from hand. It's 25, isn't it? The set 1 super, isn't it? Just 25 attack? It's triple
Yeah,
strike.
it's only 25 and it has triple
if I'm
strike.
Jason, I'm just taking this.
Yeah, no, we're snap taking this for sure because Jason has so many cards in hand that he can just like negate or anything like that.
If Jason
the
stopped
Beerus
this
attack.
season.
And I don't think he charged either.
But how does he even summon a 7? 1, 2, 3. He has 3. The cheat Kai's into open energy. It's 5. I'm so confused right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure here, but Jason's gonna take it almost
He had
questionably.
sensory beams in hands, but he didn't combo the sensory. It's like he comboed the wrong. Yeah, you see, he comboed the wrong cards.
Yeah, he should have definitely comboed the beans to untap the energy and then use all his energy. Well, not even all of it. He could have still had one energy and then played the Beerus and attacked. I think he overcommitted on that Whis for sure.
That's super game.
That's pretty unfortunate. Robbie's going to go down to 1 here, and Jason just has to take away 1 more life here.
This is game 2, game 3?
This is game 3.
1-1?
Yeah, it's 1-1. Yep.
Why even do that?
Jason's going to evolve here. Draw 2 cards. He's got a double striker.
Jason, snap.
Yeah, I don't think...
Cabo, and you just let loose the beast.
Yeah, Cabo would have been fine too. He could have also just evolved the Rising Fist first and then attacked because like Robbie was already at 2, so he could just like double struck for game. But he's gonna put a little counter to signify the boost. Yeah, the Beerus got a little bit too excited. He saw game in hand. He just executed it poorly.
Yeah, he's supposed to combo the sensory beams.
Yeah. Cash. Cash. Yeah, cash. Yeah. Yep, the game-ending misplay. But I think Robbie saw it. I hope Robbie saw it. Yeah, he was showing his opponent. Yeah, I had Beerus. That's why I did that play. But comboing can be one of the hardest things in Dragon Ball Super. Eddie, you play a deck that is very, very focused on comboing correctly. So you know how difficult that could be. How long did it take you to combo correctly?
I mean, honestly, I have to just, when I combo, I literally stop and think in my head. And what I do is, the card I play, I put it face down. And then under, I start putting the cards face down.
I see you do that.
Best way to do it. Because if you try to do it in your head, that happened to me the very first regionals ever. I think I was 6-0. It's when I went against Alan. I was swinging for a game. And I comboed the wrong card, and I went to go play, use the Trunks ability to go under my deck, and it put the Vegeta on top, and I looked at my hand, I'm like, wow, I just comboed it away. So, I mean, I just advise you guys, when you combo, just take your time and literally just go through every single card.
Keep the cards.
Once you combo it, you show your opponent's not going to let you take it back. So,
yeah, keep the cards that you need for game on one side.
Yeah.
Play, keep
Just
the cards
separate
that you need for that combo attack or whatever. That's a really good way of doing it. But comboing, one of the hardest things in this game. That's where you see a lot of games lost and a lot of games won.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in a deck like Vegeta.
Oh,
you got to combo right.
Jeez.
But anyways, what are you looking forward to? Origins is right around the corner. I know we're going to be in attendance. It's going to be fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
First time for team battles. Right, this is a Bandai official team battles, which is one of the reasons why we weren't at Hartford. It wasn't an official Team War. It was like ARG's Team War, but this is Bandai's Team Wars. So it's going to be cool. We're going to be in attendance. We're going to have a good amount of teams there. It's a fun-filled weekend. I think it's like a 5-day event, 4-day event. So we're going to be there for a long time, bonding, having some great times, playing Dragon Ball Super. What are you looking forward to in that event? Because it is going to be the same format. It's going to be the same format that you see. No new cards. It's just what we got. What are you looking forward to, like doing, playing, prizes, whatever it is?
I mean, playing, honestly, since I'm here, I might as well have you guys vote on my deck that you want me to play for Origins. Do you guys want me to go with the old faithful Vegeta or the new Mass Saiyan deck? Because the thing is, if me and Marcel end up being on the team, there's only one person who can play Vegeta. So, what do you guys in the audience, what do you guys in the chat want to see me play? I do have a Mass Saiyan deck. As a matter of fact, we're doing the series battle. You want to do it tomorrow?
Yeah, let's do it tomorrow.
Right, so
we're going to do a battle series, actually.
I mean, that works. I could profile, the Mass Saiyan deck in that battle itself, but yeah, I'm still mixed because Mass Saiyan in this format, I feel like it is just godly right now. It's super insane. The only time you run into a problem is going against apes, but if you're playing apes in this format, I mean, you're just brave. Like, I don't know what to say because the veggie package will not let you get there, but here, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. There's a few different options, of course, that we can go with. And that just makes it like just so much more appealing because you just have like you're not like I have to play this, you know, like you can play different things, you can play different matchups. Is there anything in Tournament Power that really caught your eye? I see Foreseeing Hit, obviously one of like your favorite cards from the new set. What else do you think about Tournament of Power?
Honestly, you guys are gonna hate me, but yeah, I'm just not getting back in the game. Last week I played like 3 games on Octagon, just seeing what's going on. So the only card I actually looked into was for seeing hit, because that card actually has use to me. But everything else, I mean, I didn't really go over it.
What do you think about the new Vegeta? I know it's very universe specific, and maybe all these universe specific cards get better in the future as we get more universe cards. But for now, like, what'd you think about like Vegeta? Did you even like get a chance to read him or anything like that, or are you just just sticking with old Vegeta?
I read it. I see it's universe specific, so when I go to another universe, maybe I'll play it then and there. But for now, I think I'll just play regular Vegeta and Mad Saiyan and surprise you guys with something new, hopefully pretty soon.
Yeah, because there is some unique decks. I know you're an aggro player, so I'm gonna bring up the level 1 deck. That's what I like to call it. You play a bunch of 1-drops, you play Universe 6 Magetta, and you give them all plus 10k and double strike, I think. I think it's plus 10k or just plus 10k and double strike. I'm not sure which one of the two. But, yeah, so the point of the deck, obviously spam out as much 1-drops as possible. I know you love 1-drops. And then playing like a Fearless Pan to give them all double strike, or you can play the Magetta to give them all plus 10k. Or you can play both. On turn 4, you're just like boom, boom.
It's pretty good.
What do you think about something like that? Maybe something in the future, maybe testing something like that.
I mean, I would. The only reason why I stopped playing the 1-drops is literally for one card, which was Kale and Mad Saiyan, because I feel like Kale, even though it's seeing less and less play because the other cards are just taking over, I feel like everyone should be playing at least 2 to 3 copies of the 5-drop Mad Saiyan, because to clear boards like that, what it does is, yeah, you could complain about Bloodlust, but all Mad Saiyan's ability turns to is, hey, now you're going to take a life instead of me clearing your board, and hey, you're still going to take a life because you still have to Nimbus me or so I'm going to swing. So, I mean, I still like Mad Saiyan. I wouldn't go to the 1-drops, not right now anyway, because it's just too much board clearing ability on board.
Yeah, it's very important to know when you're building decks what you need to be in the meta. Yeah. Because like if everyone's playing this card that will destroy your like new unique strategy, even though your strategy and deck is unique, then you can't play into that, because then you're just setting yourself up for failure. So a very good point by one of the best Vegeta players in the world, Eddie St. Hilaire. He's going to be here all day in tournament. We're going to hopefully see him on stream. We're going to see if he makes top 8. Pretty good amount of players here. We got kitchen table meta players, and we got PBG players. No beer players for this one, but we'll see who comes out on top. We're going to go to a quick break.